So today's topic is adding special context tokens. So it's useful to add some special tokens for unknown words and to denote the end of text. So let's try to understand what that means. So we have this sample text, for example, the brown dog playfully chased the swift fox. So here we're going to add a couple of tokens, special tokens, like for example, this unknown token for unknown words or any unknown token, and the end of text. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, some tokenizers use special tokens to help LLM with additional context. So some of these special tokens are beginning of sequence, which marks the beginning of text, end of sequence, which marks where the text ends. It's used to concatenate multiple unrelated texts, because in your training data, so you are using many files, different files, and they are unrelated. So they might be unrelated. So how can you combine them? So we need EOS, which is the end of sequence token, between these two different context or a different unrelated texts. Okay, we'll see an example of that in a moment. So for example, two different Wikipedia articles or two different books. Okay, so when they're combined together, they need so in between them, so where the first one ends and the second one starts, so we can put this EOS token to signify that these are two different, these are two, they're coming from two different files. Okay, and then there's something called pad. Okay, so padding, for padding. So if you're gonna train our LLM in batch size greater than 1, right? So we may need to include multiple texts with different lengths, but while training, they all have to be the same length, right? So in that case, so we need to use padding token. So we pad the shorter text. So for example, you are creating a batch, and in that batch, so there's in the batch, all the these input sequences, they need to be of the same length. So, but in actuality, they are not the same length. So they need to be padded. Okay, so they need to be padded, and the token for padding is this pad token. Okay, and there's another token called UNK. Okay, in order to represent words that are not included in the vocabulary. So for example, you're trying to tokenize and convert it into integer ID, corresponding integer or token ID for a text, for your text, right? And there might be some words in your text which you are trying to convert to a sequence of token IDs. So some words may not be in your vocabulary, right? So in those cases, those words that are not in the vocabulary will be taken as unknown, which is UNK. Okay, so okay, here since we are the LLM that we're trying to create or create from scratch. Okay, so that is GPT-2, right? So and the GPT-2 does not need any of these tokens that we mentioned up there. Okay, it only uses one token, which is end of text token, to reduce complexity. Okay, so the end of text is very much like EOS, which is end of sequence, and it uses end of text for padding also. So whenever you need to pad, instead of using pad token, so it's going to use end of text. Okay, and likewise, GPT-2 does not use UNK either, because the out of vocabulary words that are not in the vocabulary, okay, its tick is handled by because GPT-2 uses an encoding technique called BPE, which is byte pair encoding. So byte pair encoding, so when you use byte pair encoding, we don't have to worry about unknown tokens. Okay, and we'll see that in the next video. Okay, so and what does byte pair encoding do? Byte pair encoding breaks down words into subword units. Okay, and we're gonna discuss that later. So here's an example of use of end of text. So here, these are, so in this picture, there are four independent text source, as you can see here. So, so this is the first one, second, third, fourth, and each of these, if you look over here, so before we start the second source, so there's a token, this end of text token, right? So likewise here also, there's end of text token and end of text token over here. So this means, so when we combine them all, so because ultimately we need to combine them all, concatenate, okay? So text concatenation from all independent sources. So we need to concatenate and make them one, okay? One source, okay? So while doing that, so these end of text become kind of a delimiter or the separator between these different sources. Okay, so let's see, for example, okay, let's try this code. Okay, so here, simple tokenizer v1, this is the class that we created yesterday, in the last video. So let me show you that once again. Okay, so here it is. So this is the class simple tokener v1, tokenizer v1, and this is the constructor, and it has okay, str to int, which is equal to the vocab dictionary, and into str actually helps us decode, means take the integer id and spits out the corresponding token. Okay, so and then encode so if you call this method encode with some text, okay, so what it does, it returns the corresponding IDs, and decode, when you call decode, so you give a string of IDs or a sequence of IDs, like a list or whatever, and then you get back corresponding text. Okay, so let's go back here, right here. So here we are just instantiating simple tokenizer v1 with our vocab, right? Vocab is a dictionary, of course. So, and then let's try to tokenize this text, right? So here, okay, so when we do that, so when we run this code, then we get an error. Okay, so the reason we get an error is because, as you'll see here, there's a key error hello. That means this hello was not in our vocab. See, vocab does not have the word hello, right? So that's why, so there's a key error. So that's why it gave us this exception, right? Key error exception. Okay, so now we need to take care of that. So we need to, our vocab, so when we're trying to work with some text, right? So our vocab does not contain all the tokens or words or punctuations, all the tokens imaginable, right? Okay, so let's see how we can take care of that. Okay, so so to deal with such cases, we add a special token like UNK, as we discussed up there, to the vocabulary to represent unknown words. For example, hello, okay, will be represented by UNK. Okay, since we are already extending the vocabulary, let's add another token called end of text. So which is used in GPT training to denote the end of text. Okay, so now let's try to add to our vocabulary. We're going to add two special tokens, which are end of text token and the UNK token. Okay, so just like before, so we're going to do this over. So what we're going to do is we can take this preprocessed, which is a list of tokens. Okay, and this might contain. So first thing is unsorted. Okay, and also it may not be unique. The tokens may not be unique. So you convert that to a set, right? So preprocessed is converted to a set type, right? And so that all the tokens, only the unique tokens, we get only the unique tokens, and it's converted to a list, right? And that list is sorted, right? Okay. So now after that we can extend. So list tokens is a list. I mean all tokens is a list. So we're going to extend that list with these two new special tokens, end-of text token and the UNK token. So these are two that we wanted to add. Okay, so this will be added. So after that, just like we did before, we're gonna assign integer ID, unique integer ID to each of the tokens, including these two. Okay, so now total number of items is 1132, and if you print the last say 5 items, okay, so as you can see, so this, since we extended it, so they actually are appended to the bottom, right? So here you can see end of text, and the token ID is 1130, and for UNK token ID is 1131. Okay, so now we're going to adjust our simple tokenizer v1. Okay, so we're going to update it so as to take this into, I mean, so that these the addition of these new new tokens are incorporated. Okay, so here this one is pretty much the same like before as in v1. In v2, so the thing that is added here is this one. So preprocessed is equal to item. If item in, okay, so so you're trying to preprocess a text, right? So you take this text, okay, and then you're gonna split it, that text, okay, to tokens, okay, and then those tokens and then those are stripped, means all the white space characters are gone. Okay, and here if some of the text, I mean in your text that you provided, so if there is any token that is not in the vocab, okay, so here's str to the int right here, that means vocab, right? So it's not in vocab, then what do? You then we use UNK, okay, for item in preprocessed. Okay, if the so as you know, this is a list comprehension. So and then here this is the loop for item in preprocessed, is the loop we're running. So we're taking one item at a time from preprocessed. Preprocessed is a list of tokens, and we take one token at a time. And okay, so if the item is in the vocab, we take that item, and if it's not, else is not, right? If it's not in the vocab, then we replace that with UNK, right? Okay, so now ID is equal to self.str to int for s in preprocess and ID. So basically now this one takes care of the unknown words as well. This encode, as we have already seen before, that encode, what it does is it takes a sentence or something, a bunch of text, sentence for example, and then it's going to turn that sentence into corresponding token IDs, list of token IDs, right? So and then so here the update is that so it will take care of the unknown words as well. Unknown words are those words that are not in the vocabulary. Okay, and likewise here decode is pretty much the same. And then yeah. Okay, so now let's see. So let's try it. So because when we had this over here, we had got this error because hello was unknown because hello was not in our vocab, right? So now using V2, this simple tokenizer V2, so we won't get that kind of error. Okay, so here let's test it out. So tokenizer is simple tokenizer V2 vocab, and we're gonna use simple hello, okay, and all these, and then we're gonna so there's an end of text as well. So here, so this is the text that we're gonna use to test, right? So here we have hello, do you like tea? And there's the end of text as well, and in the sunlit terraces. Okay, so now let's try it. So here, tokenizer.encode, we're going to try to encode this text right here, okay, which contains some words that are not in the vocabulary, and then it also has the special token end of text. So let's see if it can handle it, right? So here, yeah, so we're going to use tokenizer.encode. Let's try to encode it. Yes, no problem, no error. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, and then likewise, so now we're going to decode this integer, this list of integers, okay, will be decoded like this. Tokenizer.decode. So tokenizer encode text, this one right here, will produce this list of tokens, and this list of tokens, the result is being decoded, and this is the decoded sentence, right? So now let's see, let's compare the original sentence and the decoded sentence. So you can see hello has been hello has been replaced by unk because hello is not in our vocab, right? So rest are okay, these are, yeah, they're in the vocab, so there's no problem. And end of text, okay, see, so everything is pretty much the same. But see, only palace was not in our vocab, right? So palace has been replaced by unk.